What's going on, guys? Your boy Maze, we're back with another video, and in today's video guys, I'm going to be showcasing to you guys final boss Chandler and how I went about clearing it on my free to play account. So let's hop into the video. Before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to the 35,000 subscribers, guys. We're closing in on the 35k, man. I think we're about like 600 subs away. So if you guys haven't hit that sub button already, definitely make sure to hit it. And with that out of the way, let's hop in and showcase to you guys the team I used and how I was able to go about the fight. So the team I actually used for the fight, guys, was the Goddess team, and this is the exact Goddess team he ran, especially with having the red SR Elizabeth in the backline. It is a must-have, right? So we have Sariel, Margaret, and Tarmiel, and then we have the Elizabeth backline. And the reason why we have this exact setup is because the Elizabeth backline is going to be giving us the healing and also the extra max HP, which is really, really valuable, right? So we do have Sariel here, Margaret, and Tarmiel, like just staple, Goddess characters for big basic stats and just for dealing damage. So, running Tarmiel, running Margaret, and then running Sariel as well is going to be a really good thing you can do. And then if you guys do have the Goddess card set as well, you could definitely give this thing a spin, because it actually is pretty good. You get an extra 2% basic stats per Goddess ally on the field, which is pretty good. This is at level 3. So yeah, and it caps out at 3 times, right? So, an extra 6% basic stats for Goddess characters is not too bad. And then, yeah, in terms of the missions here, this one is clear without using the one ultimate. This is clear within 9 turns, and then this is clear without using food. This bottom one is clear without using ultimate moves, but this fight is super difficult, guys, and you have to use your ultimate moves, at least from my experience doing the fight. And I feel like if you weren't using your ultimate moves, the amount of RNG required to actually beat this would be way too much. So I don't know the exact like if you can run this or not, but me testing it, I haven't been able to go in the fight without like not using it, you know what I mean? There's no gauge reduction, so you always have your ultimates, and that's going to be such a detriment holding on to 3 ultimates in your hand when you might as well just like start using them, right? So yeah, this is the setup that I ran, and I was able to actually score a 4,800 score versus people that are scoring like 9k with the exact same team. But you guys can see this is the meta team that people are running on JP, and so I'm going to be showcasing to you guys the run that I actually did on my free-to-play account. So here's the video here where I was recording for the run, the exact same setup as you guys can see, and we hop in the fight. We can actually like kind of walk you guys through what my thought process was when going through the fight. So pretty much the main gimmick of the fight is that these side guys on the first phase, the way they work is that they heal pretty much when you take corrosion damage, and they apply corrosion damage through their attack. So I think this guy applies it. So what you want to do is you want to do single target damage onto Chandler, and then do a little bit of chip damage AoE to just kind of like whittle down the side guys a little bit so that they don't actually full heal. So what happens when they full heal is they actually get an attack related buff, right? Attack related buff across the board. Chandler gets it, the side guys get it, and yeah, you don't want that to happen, right? Another thing as well is you don't want to kill the side guys, because Chandler gets a HP and attack up bonus, and it's just so big that at that point you're not going to be able to kill him, right? Chandler like will start a turn, full heal his health, and it's not really too good, so you don't want to be doing that, right? So right there, we took some damage, but you guys can see the backline is really helping us a lot. And then yeah, right here we do the cleanse with Margaret. I do the attack up and I do the single target. So the reason why this works is because since we cleanse the corrosion, they're not actually going to heal, and so because of that, they're going to stay a little bit below the 100% HP. And remember, guys, if the side guys get to 100 HP, they're going to start healing, and there's going to start giving the attack related buff, right? So you don't want that to happen. So you want to make sure that you do, some pretty good chip damage, just to make sure that they don't really full heal to full health. But if they do, then, you can't really do anything about that. But the attack related that they get is not the worst thing in the world. So if they do get it, it's okay. But yeah, so right here, there we go, we get the debuff. And so this turn, I'm not actually going to cleanse. I'm actually going to like let them do the corrosion right there. So I actually do the AoE. And then we do these single targets. So we do single target Tarmiel, AoE Margaret, single target Tarmiel follow-up, right? And yeah, feel free to just like attack into Tarmiel with the stance up. It's going to be okay. He's not going to be doing like too much damage, and you're probably going to life steal all your health bar back anyway. So yeah, just feel free to just like, do the damage you need to do. So yeah, you guys can see there, as we took the corrosion damage, they started to heal. So now they're already back up to around like 80% HP, which is pretty solid, but it's not going to be too much of an issue for us, because we're going to be able to kind of move into the next phase. And then yeah, we're going to deal with the really hard Chandler on the second phase, right? So yeah, so right here, he does the AoE right there, single target onto Sariel, which is a block effect. right? And so this turn I was like, okay, if I could use the AoE with Sariel as he's block affected, right? It's not going to do too much damage, especially since I'm block affected, and I might be able to get a stack on his Holy Relic for the, you know, the extra, whenever you crit, you get basic stats, right? So I wanted to try and get that. So I was like, okay, let's do the AoE with Sariel. And I was kind of like thinking, like, should I, you know, cleanse or not? And I decided not to cleanse. I think I was kind of stalling on this turn just to see like what I wanted to do. But I decided to go for the Margaret ultimate and then follow up with the Sariel single target. So we go for that. And as you guys can see, we are critting the side guys a little bit. So we do get the stack on Sariel Holy Relic. And that's really good because the more basic stats, the more damage Sariel's dealing, right? So that's always just a staple. And then right there, as you guys can see, they did full heal because we had 2 corrosion, but they got the attack related. And you guys can see we also got ignited right there. So one of them, I think, applies the attack related, and then the other applies the ignites on us. So the ignite guy is not as bad. But I mean, regardless, it's both okay because you actually get pretty decent points for cleansing the ignites. So it's not too, like, it's not the worst thing in the world, pretty much. Like, it's not, you know, that bad. But yeah, right here, I was like, okay, let's cleanse with Margaret. Let's ult with Tarmiel now, and let's waste the Margaret rank 3. And you guys want to make sure going into the second phase, you want to have a ton of single target skills, because the second phase, you do not want to be using AoE skills until the very end where you have to, right? So right here, the same kind of situation as well in the first phase where, you know, you wanted to use single targets. Tarmiel here can kill Chandler and the side guys in one hit. So I decided to just go for the ultimate, right? Kills them. We get the point threshold in terms of getting the, I think it's the amount of damage we deal or something like that. But we get that, and then we're full health moving into the second phase here, and this is where it becomes a little bit difficult here, right? So pretty much the way it works, guys, is if you do an AoE skill, the guy on the left, I think, will apply a taunt, and then the guy on the right will have the reflect damage. So he will be reflecting, and then the guy on the left will be taunting. So you want to actually just, whenever you're dealing damage, you want to try and do only single target skills if possible. And you guys can see as well is that we have a ultimate move damage decrease debuff, which is a great debuff that you have no matter what throughout the fight. So I think you do lose one of them though, but you do keep one. So you're still not going to be dealing like crazy damage on your ultimate, so just something to think about, right? But you guys can see here, the single target damage is really big, but the problem that arises in this fight is you top decking only AoE cards. As you guys can see, I only got AoE cards like most of the fight. The rest of this like video is literally me just trying to clear out my hand, right? Stalling out the fight so that I can get more single target cards. And look, I keep getting AoE cards, so it didn't even help really, right? But yeah, you pretty much want to hold on to a Margaret cleanse as well, because the Chandler is actually going to apply an extort on one of your characters, and he's going to ult the other character, and if he ults the character that's extorted, they might die, which is really, you know, can definitely be an RNG factor. Right, so you guys will see here, you know, the side guy does his little bit of damage right there. Chandler's going to do his extort. So he decides to extort Margaret, and then he actually ults into Tarmiel there. I got really lucky, because if he ulted into Margaret there, I wouldn't have been able to cleanse, and I would have been kind of screwed right there, being extorted and stunned. So yeah, very, very important to make sure that, you know, you have good RNG on this fight, man. You know, it is what it is, but you have to have good RNG. You know, this fight, I feel like, is one of the more RNG dependent final bosses, definitely, because, you know, the way you have to go about the fight and everything is a little bit difficult, but yeah, man. So right here, I ult with Sariel into the Chandler. You guys can see only 71k. You know, we're not doing big damage because we have that ult decrease, you know, debuff right there. And then it definitely is a really annoying effect, because we don't deal a lot of damage on our ultimate, but we have to have it. So we're, you know, whenever we just ult, it's not going to do a ton of damage right there, right? You know, it is what it is, right? So yeah, there you go. You guys can see we also get infected as well, so you want to definitely have that cleanse ready for the infect too, because if you get infected and you're attacking into that Chandler counter, you can't lifesteal, right? So you want to make sure that you do the cleanse and then you start attacking into the counter. So just so that you can lifesteal a little bit, because, you know, when you're infected, you can't heal at all, and you're kind of just stuck at that HP. And Chandler will whittle you down with the counter, so you definitely do not want to attack into him when you're infected. So yeah, he does this single target. That's like 200k, and I only lifesteal 50k. So you don't lifesteal a ton, but having that Liz backline is really, really important, because she gives you the, you know, the diminished HP healing, right? So that's definitely super important. But yeah, right there, we actually did get extorted on the Sariel, and I couldn't actually do anything because I don't have a cleanse, right? So this is actually a really bad turn for me, because now we take like a ton of damage here. But I was like, okay, this is where we can actually finish off the fight. So this is a situation where you might want to actually use your AoE skills, and since I literally only had one single target skill, I had to pretty much do the single target with Tarmiel, ult with Tarmiel, and then follow up with a Margaret AoE and just hope it killed, right? There was nothing else I could really have done there, because I was extorted with Sariel. I didn't want to attack with him, and so I wanted to make sure that I was able to get like at least a good amount of damage off with Tarmiel and then Margaret, right? I think that would have been the best play. But you guys will see here, when we start doing the you know, the AoE skills, you'll see that the side guys do apply like the stance, and then they also get the reflect damage that will hit you, right? So we do the single target first with Tarmiel before the AoE ultimate, because we want to make sure that we're not taunting to the side guy and attacking him. So we do the single target first. Right, so it does some pretty decent damage, 80k. We dropped the Tarmiel ultimate because he had maximum ultimate move gauge, so it actually did decent damage, 178k, right? And then he's pretty much one shot. You guys can see we take the reflect damage, he gets the stance, but because he gets the taunt right there and we killed them, it doesn't matter. So we actually do kill the Chandler right there, and we get 600k lifesteal. You guys see that on Margaret? That was pretty crazy. But yeah, guys, that is the run that I got right there, my first clear of the challenge difficulty. And yeah, it's not like a crazy amount of points, right? You know, we did get in the top 10%. But yeah, I mean, you know, for my free-to-play account, I think it's a pretty good achievement right there. There's probably going to be other like free-to-play comps you guys can run, but so far this is the only team that I've really tested that's worked on my free-to-play account at the very least. But yeah, man. That's pretty much it though for the video, guys. I hope this was helpful for you guys that are playing this on global, or for you guys that want to prep on global. Definitely make sure to build your guys team, man. Super important. But with that out of the way, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a good rest of your day.